lies in our shared commitment to justice, equality, and human dignity. Governor J.B. Pritzker has been a steadfast champion for civil rights and for social progress, not just here in Illinois, but traveling across the nation to spread this message. In times when our most fundamental freedoms have been threatened, Governor Pritzker has spoken out and done so with courage and conviction. He has used the power of his office to defend reproductive rights, LGBTQ+ communities, access to the ballot box, and to ensure that Illinois remains a refuge for all people who are seeking freedom and fairness. While others have chosen silence in the face of injustice, Governor Pritzker has chosen action. He has reminded us time and again that leadership is not about convenience, it is about conscience. Please join me this afternoon in welcoming a tireless advocate for equality, a principled defender of our civil rights, and a true voice for the people, Governor J.B. Pritzker.
My outdoor voice, I have to use the microphone. It is really great to be with all of you, and thank you very much, Tracy. Thank you for your kindness. I have to say, your unwavering leadership, truly, in Springfield, on behalf of the issues that really matter to so many of us, protecting reproductive rights, fighting for working families, making sure we're, that this state remains a beacon of hope for people all across the nation. That is what you do every day as a state representative, and I cannot think of a better partner, except of course for all of your colleagues who are here from Springfield. And I do want to say this to everybody else who's not a state rep or a state senator here, that the quality of the people that you send to Springfield matters a lot. And you all have sent the very best. And I know that because the very best are people who not only fight for what's best for their district, not only fight for you and express themselves incredibly well, but also know when to bang down the door of the governor when it's really, really, really important for your district or their districts or for the entire state of Illinois. And the people you send are the people who fight for the whole state. And you should be so proud of yourselves for sending them to represent you. So thank you. Now, I want to thank, of course, the terrific members of Congress, the Democrats that represent all of us in Washington, D.C. They're fighting the good fight on health care right now in Donald Trump's shutdown world. But this is a world where we need fighters. And so I'm grateful to the Congress people, including Brad Schneider, who just walked in the room, including and very importantly, my friend, Representative Jan Schakowsky. Now, I want to, I especially want to quickly tell you a story for those of you who are not old enough to remember. That Jan Schakowsky whipped my butt when I ran for Congress many years ago. And I think we should all thank God for that, for a variety of reasons. But when Jan endorsed me when I was running for governor, she reminded the crowd that she had beaten me many years ago, which I so much appreciate. And then, of course, I stood up and said, and thank God she did, because there's no way I would be running for governor right now. So, Jan, thank you for your leadership for so many years. Thank you for being a beacon for everybody across the country, for progressive values, and for the people of the state of Illinois. Thank you. Now I want to say something about today's keynote speaker. Just briefly, I've had the privilege of governing alongside Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton now for 6.5 years. She's been my partner in delivering so many important things for Illinois families. She's been my ally in every battle, and she is my friend. And I didn't know, when she became my lieutenant governor running mate back in 2017, I knew that she had impressed so many people, that she'd done so much in Springfield in a short period of time. I did not know that she would be someone that I would genuinely come to feel great fondness for, who has a great sense of humor, and who cares deeply and passionately about the work of serving the people of the state of Illinois. So I'm thrilled that she's taking on the fight to run for United States Congress, especially in a moment when, United States Senate rather, especially in a moment when Illinois needs her voice and America needs her voice. Our state and our nation are going to be better off for sending a true fighter to represent us. So thank you to Northfield Democrats for endorsing Juliana. Thank you for supporting her on the road to victory. And thank you for just recognizing that compassion in public service matters most. So thank you. Today, what I really want to talk to all of you about is, well, you. Because you all, Northfield Township Democrats, you are the gold standard for Democrats across the state of Illinois, and I'm not exaggerating. I don't say it everywhere. I don't. I'm standing here because you are that gold standard. Because even while Democrats took some real losses around the country in 2024, you won big. While other places suffered truly devastating losses, you organized your asses off. And it showed. You knocked every door, you made every call, you fought for, well, every vote, and you even helped Democrats in other districts, in other areas, in other townships win. And because of that, because of your passion, because of your hard work, we held the line. We Democrats held the line in Illinois in a tough year. We protected our congressional seats. We showed Illinois and the nation what happens when Democrats actually organize and fight. And that's why you're the gold standard. Not because it was easy, but because it was hard and you did it anyway. Now I want to talk about, well, what's at stake right now for Illinois. While Republicans across the country are criminalizing abortion, banning books, and suppressing votes, Illinois has become a beacon of hope. We're building something remarkable here. It's a model for the national Democratic agenda. It's a bulwark against right-wing extremism. In Illinois, Republicans want to, these are Illinois Republicans. Illinois Republicans want to end abortion and limit the availability of contraceptives. Yeah. And you know what we've done? We've enshrined reproductive freedom into state law and made ourselves a safe haven across the nation. Illinois Republicans want to end mail-in and early voting, and instead Democrats here have allowed you to permanently vote by mail and have expanded early voting. Illinois Republicans opposed our assault weapons ban. They opposed raising the minimum wage. They opposed banning book bans. They opposed clean energy. They opposed LGBTQ teachers in schools. They opposed, well, funding of public schools altogether. And so far, we're winning in all of those battles. And I want you to know that we can't take it for granted, because every single one of those issues is on the ballot here in Illinois in 2026. Every single one. Every 2 years, starting in 2016, I bet you've said what I've said, which is, this is the most important election of our lifetime. Every 2 years. And you know what? Most of the time, it's been true, to a point. 2026 is different. 2026 is existential, and I really mean it. If we don't take back Congress in 2026, it could be our last free and fair election. That's not an exaggeration. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm telling you what Donald Trump has already said out loud, and he's doing it right before our very eyes. He wants to scare voters into staying home in 2026. He's already talking about sending soldiers to polling places to keep the peace, he says, to intimidate us, to freak us out. Well, and to make people think twice about just showing up at all. And those same soldiers can do what Donald Trump threatened he was going to do in 2020, claim fraud and seize the ballot boxes so that he and his minions can count the ballots. If you think that I'm a conspiracy theorist, I want to add one more fact to everything you already know. Donald Trump and his DOJ have demanded from every state in the United States our voter rolls because they want to find fraud. Now, I'm also for making sure that we don't have fraudulent votes, but as you know, for years, people have been looking for fraud in our elections, and they can't find any, or very, very, very few people. But Donald Trump is going to find fraud in the voter rolls. Now, we're keeping him from getting anything other than what is publicly available here in Illinois. We're keeping him from getting it. Not everybody's doing that. But this is the danger. And I put the fact that he has demanded the voter rolls, together with he wants to put military troops on the streets, together with the fact that he has threatened already to protect and seize ballot boxes, for me to say something nefarious is going on. And we all need to be hyper aware of it. But in Illinois, we're not going to let anything bad happen, are we? Yesterday, you proved it at the No Kings rally. How many of you were there? Let me tell you something about the people that we're up against. They don't believe Democrats should even exist. Donald Trump has called us the enemy from within. I am certain that they don't just want to jail me and the mayor of Chicago and the governor of California. That if they had their way, they would jail a whole lot more people who stand just in political opposition to them. We've done nothing wrong. We've done exactly what's right. We've stood up for our beliefs. They're allowed to stand up for their beliefs, but not if it means the end of democracy. They don't just want to erase us. They want to ignore everything. They want to ignore what you care about. They want to ignore your morals, your rights, your very existence. They want to ignore your children, your parents. They want to ignore anybody that they think is a detriment to them in some fashion or another. They think if they can scare us enough, if they pass enough laws, if they rig enough districts, if they pack enough courts, we'll just go away. Well, I've got news for them. We're not going anywhere. And in 2026, we're going to make ignoring us impossible because we're going to fight like hell and do it together. And that is what this is. That is what this next election is about. It is about the fight for the soul of this country. This is a fight for whether your kids and grandkids will grow up in a democracy or in an authoritarian regime. This year and next, the phone calls that you make, the doors that you knock, the neighbors that you convince to vote, that's not just grassroots organizing, that's how we save our republic. And showing up and protesting like we all did yesterday, showing up and protesting every day to stand up for people's rights and to stand against the infringement that comes from people in ICE and CBP who are wearing uniforms and carrying automatic weapons, standing up and speaking out peacefully. That is what this country is about. And I want to ask you, which group do you think is more American? The group of people who are standing up peacefully protesting, or the people who are trying to infringe people's rights? It's us. It's all of us in this room, and it's the majority of the people in the United States. So I just want to be clear, Northfield Township Democrats, you all are at the forefront of that. You are the tip of that spear. You all showed up. I don't go into every room and every hand goes up when I ask, were you at the protests? But you've proven that you know how to win when the stakes are high. And now I'm asking you, please do it again, because nothing is more worth our time or effort than fighting for our democracy, fighting for our future, fighting for this country. And because when we fight, we win. Exactly. So I gotta ask you, are you ready for the fight? Yeah. Come on, are you ready for the fight? Yeah. Let's go, Kevin Northfield, Township Democrats. Thank you all very much. It is now my great pleasure to introduce to you your next Lieutenant Governor, a man who has fought hard and succeeded at bringing you infrastructure and fighting for your rights, and who is going to serve this state well. Ladies and gentlemen, Christian Mitchell.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have to do it again. My first political mentor was Tony Pepnickle. So